Good evening, all of you. As you all know that due to coronavirus tragedy, we all are being stuck at our homes and are living an ekantavas, that is quarantine for 21 days. Now, for the sake of you people, that your study should not suffer too long, let us start an online classes. I am trying my level best to inculcate good learning topics to you, but my request is that you all should have faith in me that whatever guidelines I will be providing you, that will be fruitful for you. But the main and the most important thing is that all should have full faith in me, because whatever I'll do, I will be doing for the betterment of your future. Don't come under the influence of other people who are going to discourage you. This is my first and foremost important request. Otherwise, I can assure you that you never being on the back foot, always be on the front foot. Now, I am going to start one chapter which is basically a small chapter but is very important in order to score very good marks, because you know that each mark is important in the class 12th theory examination. The chapter we are starting is chemistry in everyday life. In your book, the chapter will be last, and it is very easy chapter. There will be three main topics which we will covering in this chapter. Only three topics are there mainly, and main part is learning part. One part is related to the chemotherapy or the treatment of diseases by the help of the chemicals. Second portion will be the cleansing action or cleaning agents, and third one will be chemicals used in the foods. So one by one we will be starting this topic. First topic we are going to start is that the first topic will be chemotherapy, that is treatment of diseases by chemicals. Chapter chemistry in everyday life. The first thing is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy contains two words. One word is chemo. Chemo means chemicals, and therapy means treatment. So chemotherapy means treatment of diseases by the help of chemicals. The treatment of diseases by chemical compounds is known as chemotherapy. Don't think that as in it is very prevalent in the society that chemotherapy is being used only for the treatment of cancer. It is not so. Chemotherapy deals to all the treatment of the diseases which are being cured by the help of the chemicals. And the chemicals which are used to cure disease are called as chemotherapeutic agents. These chemotherapeutic agents can be of two categories, that is drugs or the medicines. Now we will clarify the meaning of drug and chemicals and medicines. Drug and medicines. The chemical substances which are used for treatment, prevention and diagnosis of diseases and for reducing pain in the body are called as medicines. These medicines have mainly positive impact on the body. And whereas the drugs are the chemicals which interacts with macromolecular targets and produces a biological response. Macromolecular targets are molecular targets or macromolecules. These are carbohydrates, proteins, enzymes, etc. These are present in our body and with these molecules drugs or the medicines interacts, and after the interactions they produces biological responses. These biological responses are mainly in positive favor of the body or the human being, but sometimes some side effects can be there. Side effects are the biological response which are not fruitful for the bodies. For example, if a particular medicine is taken for the treatment of the headache, so the positive biological response will be to lower down the headache, whereas the side effect can be like nausea or not feeling well, having little bit of some another uneasiness, that will be the side effect of that medicines. So in chemotherapy we consider both the factors, side effects as well as positive biological responses. Designing of a drug means on what concept, on what basis the scientist or the doctors designs a particular drug which can be used for a particular type of disease. First, it is based upon drug target. Drug target means biomolecules like I have told you earlier, lipids, carbohydrates, proteins and nucleic acids with which drug will interact and will give a response are called as drug targets. Second, on the basis of drug metabolism, a drug travels through the human system in order to reach the target. So the drug should be designed in such a way that it reaches the target without being metabolized in between. Like you can take an example, if a person is having a pain in head, but the drug is injected orally, taken orally, injected nahi, is taken orally, then it will go to stomach. After dissolving in the stomach, it is absorbed by the blood and it will reach to head. So during that course of time, the drug should not change its molecular structure. It should not undergo metabolism. So on that basis also drugs are designed. The important thing is that the compound which are used as starting point for drug designing are called lead compounds. Here it is very important to understand, students, that lead compounds do not mean compound of lead. Lead compound means these are the compounds which are the starting material for designing a particular drug. These lead compounds are mainly obtained from plants, natural source, trees, venoms, etc. Now, classification of a drug. This information is very much important for a doctor so that he can decide which type of drug should be provided to a patient. First classification is on the basis of pharmacological effect. It provides the doctors the whole range of drugs available for the treatment of a particular type of disease, that is, effect on a particular target. Second, on the basis of action on a particular biochemical process. It is based upon action of a drug on a particular biochemical process. For example, very important to note, all antihistamines inhibits the action of compound called as histamine, which causes allergy. So this is mainly based upon designing a drug or classification of drug on the basis of biochemical process. About histamines and antihistamines we'll be studying in the next topic. And third, on the basis of chemical structure. Drugs classified in this way have common structural features and have similar pharmacological functions. They may have certain similar molecular structures. and the fourth one is on the basis of molecular targets. Various enzymes and receptors are most common targets in the cell. Different drugs have different molecular targets. All these informations are very much useful for a doctor to suggest a particular correct medicine, correct drug for a particular patient. Now we come to the topic drug target interactions. Means in this topic we are going to understand how a chemical agent or a drug or a medicine interacts with the molecular targets. I am again insisting molecular target means macromolecules, carbohydrates, proteins, enzymes, lipids. Understand? Now, the proteins which perform the role of biological catalyst are called enzymes. These are generally globular proteins. The proteins which are crucial to the communication system in the body are called as receptors. The proteins which carry polar molecules across the cell membrane are called as carrier proteins. These things can be asked in exam in 1 mark. Nucleic acids have coded genetic information for cell, and these nucleic acids are of two types, DNA and RNA, which you will be studying in detail in chapter biomolecule. Carbohydrates are also main structural part of cell membrane, which are also drug targets.